Good evening, fellow hunters, and welcome back to part 22, episode 21 of my Monster Hunter World playthrough. Well now, where have I been and why do I sound maybe slightly different to all of you? After I did this in post, of course. Well, I've got myself a new equipment upgrade, just a new microphone and setup here where I have a microphone hanging overhead here, just on my swivel desk arm mount, whatever you want to call it. That's all I'm going to give away, just in terms of the new equipment I've got. But anyway, where have I been after fighting the pink Raffin? Well, in this part, we are finally going to be heading into the Everstream. That is the fourth location of this game, and we'll set up some of the final battles, some of the final bouts, and some of the most exciting monsters in the game that we are going to fight. But first, I would like to point out that there's a lack of exclamation marks around Astera, and you may remember in the last part there were quite a few. Well, in a few seconds here, I'll be going over to some of the changes and some of the chores you could do for some of the HUDs around here. That goes like this, the 4th, the 5th, hallelujah. And just some of the new harvest box upgrades, some new items you can get for the garden. As I said, the harvest box upgrade, which is pretty nice. I'll show you that in a few seconds, so I will do a post commentary of that, and I will show you guys what you can do with that right now. So after defeating the pink Raffian, finding the tracks, you can talk to a few timid, fivers and fourths here. If you talk to a timid fiver here, he will give you a quest for a mega fertilizer upgrade to just get great Jaguar's hide and some research points. Not too bad, pretty easy. Next, talk to this hard-blooded fourth. Once again for the botanical research. Strange increase in upgrades for that. Anyway, he will help you get a fixed summoner jelly, which requires you to get a Titsuyaku photo throne, I believe, and some research points. So again, not too hard to get. I'd also recommend getting the Legiana gear, so you can get Legiana Blazing, have a higher chance of obtaining his equipment from Hunt. So anyway, talk to a back botanist, and she will give you a harvest box upgrade as long as you have a torrent sack and 1,000 research points, as long as you have a lower rank aqua sack, mind you, which you can get from Huntier Puke. Now, talk to Elder Melda. She states that she will give you a small upgrade in terms of how many items you can meld. I believe I go here and see there's quite a few here. So now, what you can do is trade jewels that you don't want for new jewels here. They'll have amounts of melding points, so as you can see here next to the jewels you have, required amount of points. Which is pretty cool. I believe there are no new items. Nope, it's just the plates and gems. But yeah, pretty cool. If there are any you don't want, you could just trade them in and potentially get some better jewels. And you can also talk to this sisterly fourth over here. I believe she gives you a new fertilizer, once again, for the ancient trees. There's been lots of fertilizer quests for some reason. Choice mushroom substract, Kuliyaku plume, and some research points. Once again, should be pretty easy to get. And we're done here. Alright, so after doing that, we can turn this in to the research base. So we can complete 2 deliveries. One of them being a mega fertilizer, which boosts the power of fertilizer. I don't think I've used it, so not the most helpful. Then we have choice mushroom substrate. And no problem for me, just a Kuliyaku plume. Don't have a photo for the Titsuyaku, so can't do that. And that's all we can do for now. But anyway, we are going to just sort out our items, and we are finally going to be continuing the next stage of the game. So what we want to do is I'm just going to be collecting my meal and then just cutting back to when the mission officially begins. So I will join you guys shortly. Alright, so here we go. Part of an expedition to the Everstream. And this part of the story is going to work a bit differently to some of the other missions we've had once before, but I will tell you about it in a minute. Right now, we get to watch the next part of the story.
You made it. On time, too. I like that.
Hey, isn't that's where we led Zora Magdaros out to sea?
Exactly. Come on, follow me. Wait, I never introduced myself, did I? I'm the Admiral, the commission's top dog. Of course, I leave the day-to-day stuff to the commander. I'm not much for being tied down, see? Anyway, I was chasing down this monster when I stumbled upon this place I'm about to show you.
What monster?
Nergigante. After Zora Magdaros vanished into the sea, Nergigante disappeared too. So I decided to track it down. And this is where it led me. A gap in the earth that was probably wrenched open by Zora.
Did you find Nergigante?
I expect to, and not far ahead.
Are we allowed to run? There we go. Somehow got locked into a walk there. I wanted to, of course, but not forever, for obvious reasons.
Whoa.
Beautiful landscape, nothing new from this game.
Look at the streams. You can feel it in your bones, right? Something is a-stirring.
That's because the Everstream is just pulsing with incredible amounts of energy. All those crazy tough monsters you've tangled with, they must have come from deeper within.
Why? What's here?
You'll see. Zora riled something up when it visited the New World. Something that runs deep. Got us to come to the New World. Nergigante, too. Well, now we'll find out what we're dealing with. Get ready. Things are about to move real fast.
Yes, sir.
So this takes a little bit longer than I remember. It shouldn't be too long now. Hopefully to the next camp. Here we have it.
Amazing, right?
Yeah.
Dun dun dun. The Elder's Recess. Oof. Well, talk about a fittingly grandiose and older than time itself, beautiful
There's so many
location.
crystals in here, you're likely to trip on them.
Some of them are huge. How do they form?
Beats the heck out of me, but I'll tell you what. This place is sizzling with bioenergy. And that means the monsters around here are tougher than Nova crystals.
Admiral, there's something that's been bothering me.
Which is?
Why was Zora Magdaros tunneling in here instead of simply dying in the Vale? Was something here luring it in?
Who knows, kid? But we do have one clue. Nergigante.
You're right. Nergigante and Zora Magdaros. We've always seen them together. It must have had its own reason for coming.
And not just him, either. Fact is, loads of powerful monsters have holed themselves up in here. We need to track them one by one. And maybe we might just find a pattern.
Right.
Of course I'm right. Now get ready. You ready?
Well, considering the Admiral has been tracking the Elder Dragons and the Elder's Recess for so long, you figured he would bring some sort of powerful weapon, but no, we don't. I don't really see anything like a, I don't know, a charged blade or a long sword or something on him. What is it we're going to do that's ridiculously simple? Easier said than done. But yes, this is the next part of the mission, uncovering Nergigante's secrets. Which is essentially just, you're just tracking a monster. That's pretty much it. But there are also other requirements to this mission, of course. We have to sight 3 large monsters in the Elder's Recess. And is it worth showing you? No, I believe. Now, easy way you could do this. Yeah, you know what, go on, an easy way you could do this. And of course, we haven't explored all of the Elder's Recess here, so pathways low and high aren't accessible, of course, for obvious reasons. So you may not know how exactly to get to them, but for visual reference, easy way to sight one monster is See that clearing over there? It's just beyond there in those plains. That's one way to that's a way to sight one monster. Another way is to this region here. Oh, I need to get away from these because these things actually are hostile and they will attack on sight. Very irritating, to say the least. Or rather, to say the most, really, to be honest. Easy way to sight another monster, which will give you a clue as to what kind of beast it is. These lava regions right here. So that's another one. So we have Sector 2, place where you'll be able to sight one monster. This area, sector here, to sight another monster. And the third one, and the monster we're going to fight today. The monster of the day is going to be down here. To do that, we have to track the footsteps here. Just simply slide down. Pick up footsteps odd footsteps if you like research points. Pick up a broken rock on the way there. Well, there's another clue for another monster where we're not due to fight yet. But here's some old splinter thorns. The blue scout flies indicate that. There it is. First thing we're going to fight in the Elder's Recess. Alright, we have the Doh-dogama. So it is the Elder's Recess equivalent of the Great Jaguars. Only of course it's going to be a little tougher, as you'd expect. So don't take it lightly. Its attacks are very similar, it's all very physical based. Oof. Probably should have taken a hit there, to be honest. So this is a new ailment that this thing can inflict. Blast blight. You get infected, or you get let's go with that one for now. Infected. You'll be able to tell as you have sparkly crackles. Yes, I'm going to call it that for now. It's been a while since I've done this. In a few seconds it will detonate and you will take a lot of damage. As you probably could guess, it has a huge radius. Do not get hit by it, whatever you do. Just keep rolling to get rid of it. Same with fire. And so the Doh-dogama, its biggest weakness is thunder at 3. I believe it's also pretty weak to, let's say, is it ice or dragon? I'm not too familiar, but it's one of those two for weakness at 2. But thunder, element of its biggest weakness. Don't take this thing lightly, because its blast element could do a decent bit of damage, as you just saw there. So it is quite slow and quite lethargic, so you can take advantage of this with some powerful weapons. And this is another another aspect of the Elder's Recess. That's the wrong thing. They've been introduced to is the intense heat, which will deplete your health over time. To get rid of it, simply pick up a chill shroom, which you could find just before entering the hotter parts of the Elder's Recess, and it will stave off the heat. The sweet parts are much like the Great Jaguars. It's pretty much almost, I want to say, everywhere on its body. So attacking its sides, tail, and head is a good idea. There is a bit of a damage creep, and if you don't notice, if you're a bit too lax, if you fail to notice, be careful. Blast blade, it's gonna go off. Okay, good. You want to avoid that fireball attack. It is pretty deadly. Much like the Great Jaguars, it inflates its big belly with blast blight. Shoots blast rocks everywhere. We've got a mount on it, which is pretty good. I mean, it's a small monster, so I mean, you should be able to, but I just haven't been going for it for some reason. I can't remember if breaking its head disable its what do you call it? Fireball attack. I can imagine it might, but I don't take my word on that. Anyway, I actually found a resistance spot there, which is pretty which takes quite a lot of talent to fight. I don't mean that in a positive way, to be honest. All been affected. That's all. Now, I'm pretty sure that once you encounter the cutscene for one monster, you shouldn't encounter any more unless you run into the designated their spawn areas, essentially. I don't know why I've had my flash pods equipped, because you can find these flashlights here in certain areas, like Sector 5, which is a good area to fight a lot of monsters in. I know it's not the best idea there. Best idea, probably should have charged my files first. That attack looks familiar, doesn't it? Yeah, why not? Probably not gonna use it. Probably not gonna use it more than once. I hope so anyway. On it, very nice. That's probably duck and roll. stamina here, try and get some hits off. Oh, that is something I forgot to mention. Oh, I forgot that here. That is something you could do. If it's churning some blast blight in its mouth, you can. What you do is if you get a big hit on that, it can deal some extra damage to it. So if you can catch that, it's pretty handy way in doing some extra damage if you're just not getting any big hits off it. You know what I mean? Because while Doh-dogama, it's only a Elder's Recess version of a Great Jaguars, and it's with some differences, and it's significantly weaker than what we're going to fight here. It's still not to be trifled with. There's still obviously a big level creep, and it takes a bit more hits than you might expect. Yeah, I think I'm just going to capture it. And see, that's what happens when you are indecisive against these things, and you just let them hit you with blast. So yeah, that was pretty bad. I probably should have just placed a shock trap. I don't know. Just get a bit caught in two minds sometimes. Just do I want to catch it for more materials, for bounties, etc., or do you just want to kill it, just slay it rather, just because that's what you're supposed to do in What Sense World. You know what I mean? But I guess since these are optional bosses, it really doesn't matter. So hopefully this will do it. And I did. So there we go. There's the Doh-dogama. Really shouldn't have died there. That was really just really silly of me. So I think that's going to be all for this part. In the next part, we're going to be exploring more of the Elder's Recess. We'll be fighting a new monster, searching for more Nergigante tracks, and continuing on the story in general. So thank you very much for watching. I know it's been quite a while, and I guess I'm a little bit rusty, but it's good to be back in the game. You know, I had fun doing this, and yeah, just great to be back. So thank you very much for watching, fellow hunters. Take care, and I shall see you all again very soon in the next hunt. Farewell.